Welcome to Basic Skills. Today we're going to talk about how to build a cheap but really sturdy rabbit cage. So first thing I always start with is find the wire that I need. Right here I got a cage somebody gave me a while ago, and I'm just going to use two sides off of it, and that'll give us a good floor for our cage we're going to build. So it's got all these J-clips on it, and so what you want to do is just take a pair of pliers and grab them on the one side and just kind of pull them straight out and off. Once you're done with that, you're going to end up with a piece of wire kind of like this. You want to make sure you leave the J-clips in the center there so that you'll have your wires big enough. If you're starting with brand new wire, you're going to have to probably J-clip a couple pieces together or wire them some other way. But anyway, you end up with a piece of wire about like this, and we're just going to measure it and then build the rest of the cage kind of around this as our main floor piece. I'm just going to use a few pieces of 2x6 that I cut in half with a table saw for my main frame. They're used, and so they got holes and stuff in them, but they'll be fine. Got them for free, so helps with the price of the cage. Since I want my wire to hang over onto the wood a little bit on all sides, I'm going to cut the two ones for the ends 3 feet long, and I'm going to cut the front one 46 inches long, so that the wire will hang off about an inch on all sides. So the next step is putting the legs on. They're gonna be 32 inches long, and they're gonna hold this thing 16 inches off the ground. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put a brace, 15-inch brace, on an angle there to keep it from twisting that one way. I'm done with the legs and the braces on them, so now I'm just gonna stick a couple of 21-inch pieces right here to give me the proper slant for the roof, and then we'll probably put the skis on it. So the skis are 55 inches long, and I just took them inside and cut them with the miter saw at a 45-degree angle. I'm just going to mount them on the bottom here, and they'll stick out a little bit on each end, and it'll just make it so I can pull it around a little bit, make it a little bit more portable. Next, I'm going to put the roof supports across the top and the back. Got this one here. Just going to go right like that. And then I'll put one here and here to support the roof. I got these pieces put on, and I made the front one a bit thicker than the back one just so that you can lean on it and not have to worry about breaking it. And I got these 3 pieces I just cut. I'm just going to screw them on right there, there, and there. They'll hold the sheet metal on the outside as well as the back on the roof. So I got these on. I pre-drilled to make sure that I wouldn't split them because they're kind of thin. And next I'm going to put the wire in on the floor so that I still have room to work, and I make sure I get it in before I close up the sides and run out of workspace in there. Alright, so I got that floor put on there, and only took me a couple screws. And so now I'm going to start with the sheet metal. Probably going to do the back and then the sides, then finish up on the roof. Got the sides put on there. I used 2 pieces, one going in there and one coming in here. And to hook it on the bottom, I just kind of toe-nailed it, except with a screw, down there, and didn't do anything to the top. I'm figuring that'll be fine. And so now I'm just gonna see about putting some wire on the front. I'm just gonna be using chicken wire, but you could use 1 by 2 inch wire, or really whatever you've got that'll hold a rabbit in. So I got my chicken wire here. It's real heavy chicken wire. It's about the right length, and I need 15 inches off of it. So I'm just gonna take my tin snips and cut it along at 15 inches, and then it's only, I think, 14 inches to, or it's 15 inches to the top. I'm gonna screw it down a little bit, and then I'll put the rest over at the bottom to make sure I get a good hold down there. I'll probably just take these roofing screws out and put them back in over top of this wire. The reason I use roofing screws on wire is that a lot of other screws don't have that flat head or washer there, so they won't hold the wire properly. So I use those, and they'll hold the wire real nicely. So I got the wire on the front, and so now I'm going to put the sheet metal on the back half here, and then I'm going to work on the door. I've got this piece of trim, well, it was trim, to use for the front of my door here. It's got a bunch of nails in it, and I just thought I'd show you how I like to pull them out. I just got a pair of fencing pliers, and so they've got the hammerhead on the one side and a bit of a claw on the other side for pulling out fencing staples or whatever. But you just grab them in the jaws there and just twist away the claw, and you can just pull them right out easy. Alright, so I'm done with the door. As you can see, I didn't have enough silver tin, so I used gray on the top. I rounded off the corners so that nothing would get caught on them, and since I didn't have anything wider, I used these 14.5 inch pieces of tin. I just supported them on the back, used 5 of them, and just kind of layered them so that they'd all fit properly. Now all I've got left is put the hinges on, and I got to make sure I raise the hinges a little bit so when this folds up, it hits back so that it will stay open when I want it to. So this cage is all done. I put the hinges up on top of blocks of 2x4s, just so that it'll sit back and stay open when I want it to. And then for a latch, all I did was I put a long spring here and just a screw to hook it over, and that'll work great, and it'll have a little bit of spring, but it won't be able to blow open or anything, so that works really well. So I placed a sketch of the measurements I used, just a rough sketch, in the description below, and the only thing I paid for on this rabbit cage was the screws. Everything else I got free, so I was able to make this cage with a few hours and only a couple dollars.